pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Dan Pillow.
Here.
Ron Pugh.
Here.
Jennifer Anderson. Here. Ann Pillow. Here. Al Glick.
Here.
Pam Jackson.
Here. And we'll start with the clerk's report.
You received 3 sets of minutes. The first minutes is set as actually June 6th, not the 5th. That was from the special meeting that was called to approve the resolution for Nature Works.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 6, 2022.
I'll second. Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Ron Pugh.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson. Yay. Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received one from the June 13th. This was the actual council meeting itself.
Make a motion to approve June 13th as the clerk has presented minutes.
Second.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Dan Pillow. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Ron Pugh.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson. Yay. Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have a copy of the special council meeting from June the 23rd.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from June 23rd.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Ron Pugh.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson. Yay. Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You should have received pay ordinance 7A. This was for bi-weekly payroll that was paid on July 1st. Disbursed from the general fund was $9,040.50. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $1,627.63. From the water fund, $2,561.88. For a combined total, all funds, of $13,230.01.
Make a motion to approve 7A 2022.
I'll second.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Ron Pugh.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you had 7B. Again, this was for bi-weekly payroll that was paid on July the 15th. Dispersed from the general fund, $9,039.79. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $2,661.91. From the water fund, $2,703.35. For combined total funds, $14,455.05.
Make a motion to approve 7B 2022.
I'll second.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion?
Yes. I do see that on that one, that Anthony was paid for attending a water board meeting overtime. Is that something that we do?
No.
No, and I have talked, and I have told one or two of the board members and the clerk that that has never been a part of them attending a meeting. In the past, employees just tended, as you know, to report on their work.
Right. Okay. So we need to address that and make sure that he knows that he's not getting especially paid overtime to attend a water board
It
meeting.
has been addressed, and then
I mean, if it's been addressed, we still have to pay him if the board has approved it. But
that's
in the
kind of what
future,
happened, yeah.
in the future,
They need
we need to
to.
make sure that the right thing happens. So.
Okay.
But I think playing Monday morning quarterback, I'm not going to take any pay from him, but we need to address it, make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
Same thing that was brought up, that when regular employees of the village work, or any employee works, and they have 40 hours work, in order to earn overtime, they have to have it has to be banked on the 40 hours worked. It can't be like they have 30 and then be called in for overtime and expect overtime. That's been happening, and it's been pointed out to one or two people that that just can't keep going, it goes against the rules.
Okay, so that's something we need to.
That's something that can be discussed a little bit further later.
Are you talking about scheduled
Yes.
hours or a call out?
No, I'm talking about that it needs to be noted that if the employee is working 40 hours, and then because there's not somebody to cover a shift, they're getting overtime for covering a shift. I want to make sure that it's within, if it's the
If they've
first
got
week.
40
yeah.
hours.
I thought we've already addressed that. I mean, we just addressed that 2 months ago,
Yeah,
Maybe I
Should have
wasn't
been all
here, but-
departments.
right?
Well, I
I mean,
did-
am I wrong? We just addressed that 2 months ago.
Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah.
We said if that was going to happen, that we need to be notified, correct? Is that what we said? Okay. So, Margaret, if that happens, can you email us and let us know?
Yes.
Because that's already been addressed.
Yes.
And then that supervisor needs to be, we need to have a conversation with that supervisor.
Yeah, somewhere there has to be a breakdown, something.
yeah. I had just noticed that being paid for a meeting was definitely, I didn't know about the other, but definitely being paid for the attended meeting is not something that I thought
I'm
that.
still a little confused, but okay.
Well, the last time this happened, I'll go into specifics. The chief fell unconscious on the job, and we put somebody in his position that was being paid overtime, and we addressed at that point and said, if this happens in the future, we want to be notified in real time. So if it's still happening, we're not being notified.
So don't call a meeting or anything, just email.
Oh, let us know. That's what we discussed. That's what was approved.
I just want to make sure that supervisors understand that they have to achieve that 40 hours if it's in the work week before they can get overtime. And even the second week, then it's overtime.
Maggie, I'm just asking you,
I
if it
know.
happens, email council
Yes.
and we can deal with it.
All right,
That's
you
not,
got it.
it's not an issue.
Call out's a call out, so not sure what you're referring to.
That's something totally different.
And we've already addressed that. I think the mayor asked that question before you brought it up.
But there
A
is,
call out's totally different than,
right, because it's specified and it says what that is for. It's just that when there is a call out, I need to know specifically why the person was called out. Was there a tree in the roadway? Was
this is the
something
issue.
like that.
Dustin, Eric, you're both supervisors. This has already been addressed. If their overtime is going to happen, we need to know about it. Bottom line. And we're not going to keep covering the same stuff.
So when the tree's down, I should just call everybody on the board?
No, I didn't say that. You can send an email out though and let us know. Or you can tell your boss and your boss can send an email out. Because guess what? Who's calling you out? Who's making the call?
Police department,
Okay. So when the police department calls you, who do you notify that you're coming out?
myself.
You don't notify your boss?
You can't do
That's not the way it
Well, I mean,
works.
I know when they get called out.
But what I'm saying is, that's not the way it works. If the police department calls you, you need to call your supervisor and make sure that she knows, because ultimately, your supervisor makes the final call. You can't just come out and do the work. That's not how it works. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that right or wrong?
That's correct.
because
Okay,
the mayor is his boss.
Yeah.
well, there we go.
I got called out at midnight Friday night. Was I supposed to call the mayor?
Yeah, yes, you are. Absolutely.
Or email, just throw it out on email real quick.
It's always been that way. It's not, this isn't nothing new. It's not like we're bringing up stuff that we want to happen because we think we need to know everything. We have this, it's in policy and procedure. And if you're not following them, well, that's a totally separate issue.
Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yes.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yeah.
And then you should have 7D, this is for accounts payable. From the general fund, $15,837.08. From the water fund, $368.10, for a combined total all funds of $16,205.18.
Hey, can I ask a question about this?
Sure.
I seen where our phone bill here in the municipal building and the internet, it's like $992 a month.
We pay for different levels. We've looked at it in the past about having somebody else come in and do a service for us. Verizon even now provides through a company they work with, but that is the phone bills here. Then there's a separate one for the maintenance garage, and then there's one for the water department. And then the water department has they have a data line that they're charged for. So we probably wouldn't be a bad idea to bring Cincinnati Val in and talk to them, about everything that's going on.
Yeah, 'cause that's kind of high. I know what we pay down there. And it's like, ooh, nowhere near that.
I think we could probably schedule a laws and contracts committee meeting if they want to, we'll contact a couple different providers and see who wants to come in and talk to us about it. So I'd say let's refer it to committee.
I second that. Kind of high. It's like, ooh. We got a couple different lines, fax line and everything else, and internet and all that down there. And it's like,
Well, we have several fax lines and stuff.
Margaret, Jennifer made a second on that, and then I'll call a couple different providers and set up a meeting
I
and let you
didn't
know.
catch you did the first.
That's all right.
With you.
Yeah, me and Jennifer made the second, and then I'll contact some people and I'll let you know the date and
Yeah.
the details.
Okay. You ready? Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow, Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
We'll probably need a second motion to approve 7D 2022.
I'll second
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yeah.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
it. Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Last month, I don't know,
Did you miss C or did I miss C?
I read C.
Okay.
Oh, no, maybe I didn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You know what,
I don't
I
see.
did not read it, it was the monthly salaries. Go back to item 7C, that's the monthly salaries. Dispersed from the general fund, $7,350. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $380.12. From the water fund, $600, for a combined total of all funds, $8,330.12.
Make a motion to approve 7C 2022 for the monthly salaries.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Glick,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
boy, Pam Jackson. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still not really fully recovered from that accident. I have a mayor's report. I don't know if she laid it at your stations or not. If she didn't, I will forward it to you. Do you want me to read it, or you want me to hold it until next month? She usually gets a copy in here for you.
It was in the email, right?
I thought it was in the email.
It was in the email. Or I believed it was.
It's in the email. Go ahead and read
Good,
it.
because it was a lengthy email. This is the mayor's financial statement as of June 1st, 2022. And collected and deposited into the general fund. Is that the one you got? I might have picked up the wrong one.
I got it, but I don't have it.
Al and Pam, somebody tell me which one I'm reading.
MC June is what we got.
Is it June 1st at the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, June 1st.
$9,610 for the village fund, and sent into the state rotary fee, $1,803.50, and also sent into the state for indigent driver alcohol treatment fund was $57.50, for a total of $9,610 into the general fund for the village.
Make a motion to accept the mayor's monthly report for Mayor's Court.
A second.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Last month, I read the April report, April bank reconciliation, and I gave it to you and told you to look it over, and I would ask for it this evening. I don't know how many of you looked through it or not, but this is the bank statement as of May 31st.
I did have a chance to review those after the last meeting in between this meeting, and I will make a motion to approve the clerk's report for the bank reconciliation.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I do have the June bank statement balanced, and I'm going to pass it out to you, and I prefer you take it and look through it, and then you can vote on it next month, but I do want you to see that at the end of June, the sweep account only had 7 cents in it, and that was the interest. That's the sweep account that moves money to our operating account. Of course, that, changed on July 1st when we got the RETA money that comes in, because it always comes in on the 1st and around the 15th. But on this report, like I said, you can take it with you and look at it, and I'll email it out to you with the next packet. But this way, you know what's in the bank and what the accounts are. On the last page, it gives you a summary by funds, and that there is reconciled to the bank statement through all the receipts and the payments and everything that went out. And that's all I have here.
I'll make a motion to take under advisement the clerk's report ending 6:30 and let us vote on this at the next meeting.
Second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer Anderson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Margaret. Council, before we go to myself, there's a couple guests here that I would like to go to first before we move forward. Mr. Ault.
Thanks for having me back. I'm Mark Ault. For those of you that haven't met, I'm the superintendent of the school district. Just want to periodically give you a little update of where we're at and what we're doing, and it's always good news, actually. Our kids have just been phenomenal this past year. We had the 96th Taylor High School graduation class 2 months ago, actually, May 15th at Xavier University. Great class, academic achievements, arts, music, career development, and athletics. So really proud of all the contributions they made to our district, and yeah, they were class of 96. So we ended school early. We started August 17th with students. August 15th, our teachers will return, so not too long from now. We are fully staffed except for bus drivers. We're in desperate need for school bus drivers, so if you know of anybody remotely interested in helping us out, send them my way and we'll get them in the right place. It's not an easy job. There's a lot of criteria, a lot of mandates that need to be done. Rightfully so, because you're transporting our kids, but we're about 4 bus drivers short heading into next year. We're real concerned about it with a couple weeks to go. Our last year accolades, one of the things we're really proud of is in our athletics. We were 3rd in the CHL, the highest point value we've had. And they give you points for all of the sports, boys and girls, at the high school level from the fall all the way through the spring. So just behind Wyoming and Indian Hill. We ended the spring season on a high note with our boys and girls track team winning the CHL. Several of our kids advanced to regionals, districts, and then ultimately competed at the state. Boys baseball team went to the regionals before losing to Hamilton Baden. just a really exceptional year when we look at our athletic progress. Still concerned about learning loss because of COVID and how much shutdown we had. I'm hoping we've turned a corner on that. We're not going to have to mess with it this year. I know it's still out there, but I want to believe that we've kind of turned a corner. Nevertheless, our kids, I think, suffered from the fact that they couldn't get to school. And then even when we did, we had limited things that we could do. Some kids were asked to quarantine because of exposure or illness. So we've been keeping a close eye on our academic achievement. Our state test scores are coming in. It looks like we're on the road to recovery. We did offer 3 weeks of summer learning opportunities this summer. We use our COVID relief funds that we get from the government to financially support those programs. We had over 1,000 students on campus at three different weeks in June and July. School safety, as you know, is a top priority. So while the kids are on summer recess and our staff, we still continue to talk about it. It's on everybody's mind. It will always be on our mind. We're blessed, I think, because we have a school security officer named Steve Macon. He actually lives over here in Sailor Park. He's a former police officer. He's worked in Cincinnati, Amberley Village, Indian Hill, and he is on our campus 5 days a week from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then we have 2 other gentlemen that help him with our security team. So we use this summer to review our plans, our communication plan, our preventative measures, adding video cameras, just trying to be as preventative and proactive as we can. And that will always be a top priority for us. We continue to monitor the power plant. I think the last time I was here, we were told by Vistra, the company out of Texas that owns that plant, that they are closing in 2027. I talked to Joe Riesenberg recently, he's the plant manager. They are, both generators are going great guns, 90% efficiency. They've got more business than they've ever had because of kind of the energy shortage we have in this country. So right now they're going well. We continue to watch it and see what happens, because if they were to shut down, that's about $2.8 million to our general fund. And they've been pretty good supporters of our school district. So that's really it. August 17th, we roll around and we'll see school buses again here shortly. And we're looking forward to, like I said, whatever normal is, but without masks and all of that, and hopefully get the school year started successfully. Any questions for me?
I'd just like to thank you for coming down. I appreciate the updates, and it's something that we're not used to, and I'm very happy that you do come down and make time for us.
My pleasure. I plan to do it about 3 or 4 times a year, just as each season unfolds. So, and I always have good news, and I think you need to hear it, because we have a lot of really great kids in this district. Addyston, Cleves, North Bend, all over.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
I'd also like to introduce to you Ed Lindenschmidt, our new code enforcer.
It's a tough act to follow, but I'll say hi here nonetheless. Stepping in the position, I know I have really long tenured, big shoes to fill. That being said, I'm open to suggestions, I'm open to help. I'm here to help out everybody. I'm here to help the community best I can in my capacity. Experience-wise, been a realtor now about 5 years, dealt with a lot of building code through that. Prior to that, however, my majority experience comes through Green Building Consulting. There's a company down at OTR. I'm very familiar with and working with building departments down there, learning code, how to work with them, and how to enforce those codes with builders. So I hope to bring what experience I have to the table, help you guys out, however possible.
Let's say welcome aboard, and thank you for accepting the challenge.
Yeah.
Should be fun, to say the least. Any questions or concerns? Or outstanding?
And I look forward to working with you
Yeah,
out at the streets and housing and development department.
Excellent.
We'll be good friends.
I like it. I like friends.
Okay, good.
Anybody else? No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll go back to myself. So I just also, council, I wanted to let you know that that First Street rebid, you know, that had to go back out. And the bid opening is July 28th. at 10 a.m. if you'd like to show up for that. Yep, here at the Municipal building. And also,
What date was that?
July 28th.
28th at 10 a.m. And I'll email that out again too, so that way you'll have it. And also, Neiman would like me to ask council if he could get a 2-week extension for where they're doing the curbs and sidewalks so that they don't run into the blacktoppers coming in, so they're not overlapping basically.
I'll make a motion to approve a 2-week extension for the Main Street project for Fred Demon.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh and second by Ault. Any discussion?
What's the end date on that project, Mayor, do you know?
I don't know at the top of my head, but I know it is in August.
In August, okay.
But they
Yeah.
just wanted a 2-week extension so they're not
Sure.
overlapping with the blacktop people. Anything else? Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Ault,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. Okay, and the other thing I have for you guys is in the big blue book here. Basically what I did is I put together anything and everything I could find from the time I even started as mayor, what we've been doing, and there's a few things that I would like to go over with council that needs to be brought up to your attention.
Mark.
And you'll see, like, when you first open it up, there's 2 letters that were sent in violations. Well, after those 2 letters, I've been working with Lisa and the Water Board because I attended their meeting on the 7th this month. You'll notice right after that, there are invoices for the violations that they posted on the letter. So as far as we know, everything's okay because they did a clean out and they replaced that vent. And then you'll see the steel potable water reservoir inspection report. So that may still be a problem even though they cleaned it out. That's still on before tab 1. Now, let's see, the most important. And on tab number 1, where it's the Addyston preliminary report, you guys actually already got that information in your email. So we can that's for your information. If you pull over tab 2, the drinking water supply contingency plan, which that was updated as well with all the new information, just so you guys can see everything that happens when we have problems and what we do with our next steps. Okay, and you pull tab 3, you'll see a map there at first, and that's the map that shows the possible lead contaminated components and historic services containing lead components. This was an older review, and the letter to go with that one is from 2017, but I still felt that that needed to be put in here because it has a lot to do with the projects that we have going on right now. Okay, and then tab 4, pull over here in the Drinking Water Assistance Fund, so that's the new grants and things like that, any bit of information that you want to know if you want to read through that one. Pull through tab 5, I just went ahead and added a list of the projects that are ongoing right now. And then behind that is the general plan of like water distribution replacement. And then pull over tab 6. You're on drinking water source assessment. This was something that was done back in December of 2003, but I still figured, it's still information that's worth a read. The information that I really want to get to, pull tab 7, and you'll be on your PowerPoints. This here, they started this in 2018, but Addyston wasn't even made aware this was going on, because I don't even think you've seen this, have you?
No.
Okay. Because that's what my gathering was, that nobody had seen this. So I wanted to make sure the council had got a, copy of the PDFs here, and basically what this shows is like where the contaminated areas are on locations at the Enios place, where the ponds were, and also they've had to shut down a couple of wells.
Can I ask, who's supposed to notify us on this? Why would
Probably
we-
the
Why would
EPA.
we not know?
And Enios. I have no idea, but now that I know, you know.
Usually when something goes on, that Mario,
He did not know about this.
really?
Oh,
No. He knew that they were doing a study, but he didn't know, there's certain elements in here that he didn't understand, But the one I want to get to, it's further back in, it's the groundwater flow model. What that shows is, that is the only reason right now that our wells are not contaminated. Because of them pumping so much water out of their wells over there at Enios, that's what keeps ours in check. But now that they've had a few that they've been made to shut down, we just need, that's the other reason for the contingency plan and trying to get our water lines fixed here for that purposes, because you're looking at a matter of days. If those pumps were to go down at Enios, that it backs into our wells and our wells become contaminated. It's game over at that point. So I just wanted to let everybody know that it's a serious, because it even shows, there's a model in here that shows like how many days it takes before the contaminants can come back into our wells. Let's see. I don't want to read every page and take up everybody's time all day. And then tab 8, when you pull it over, I would like to, I still have more to add to that, because this is something that Wayne Cannon, at the last page, the EPA, the Small Community Asset Management Program, that's something right now that's being actively worked on by Wayne Cannon and some others with RCAP to do that. So as soon as I get more pages or more updates of that, I'll add that, put copies in your thing to add it to your book. That way everything's in one book. And if you guys have any questions about that, I'll answer anything I can.
Appreciate it, Mayor.
I did bring this, so this is what I went over with the water board, so that they had this first, and then that's, then I had to take it to you guys, because I said, well, I want, obviously this is you guys, so we'll go through it first. So I went through it with them in the entirety, so they actually had a long meeting. And the last thing that I have here is the, I wanted to explain what it was, the resolution that I took to water board. They're for water board, but still it has to be obviously approved by council. The one resolution, and it's for them, it's their expense. The one resolution is for the main replacement on Secretary, and the other one is going toward a system-wide main replacement. And I explained to them that there is an expense to that because they don't pay the engineering stuff, but EPA is willing to give us principal forgiveness loans to do those things. This has nothing to do with the stabilization that we've already worked on. This is just the water. They said if we don't take advantage of how they're giving principal forgiveness loans right now, that they said there are so many flaws if they start finding us and we don't fix these now and use that money, that we're gonna end up having to pay our own money to do it. And then we might be in a real pickle. So I just wanted to explain to everybody what that was, and Water Board did make a motion that they would like to move forward with those resolutions pending council's approvals.
I'll make a motion to approve those resolutions to use that money interest-free.
I'll second it.
Now, do we have to do?
You gotta do it like you do a regular resolution.
Yeah, it's like a regular resolution.
Suspend the rules and that.
Do we have it?
Yeah, we got copies.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution, have it read 3 times by title only, and declare an emergency.
I second it.
I just want to make sure I understand, take a quick look at the resolutions to
There's
understand
two.
what we are obligated to or not obligated to. I know what the
This is like
I think you all paid.
funds that they
No, we
have
just
set
need the other- that's the
aside.
other
You
page.
got your own.
Yeah, and yes.
Yeah, because there's two separate.
There's two separate ones. One is for Second-Hand and the other is for another project to deal with it. It's the water replacement.
Nope, I have secondhand.
Yeah, this is second hand here.
System-wide flow.
Yes, there's three here.
Are you looking for second hand?
Yeah, they should.
We are,
There's second hand.
just so I'm clear,
So how many pages should we have?
are we,
Two.
are we okay in a certain amount of money or what? What, is there a dollar amount involved that we're going to be responsible for down the road?
Yes.
But we don't know what that is yet.
Well, no, the engineering cost for the second-hand main line is approximately, I don't have it in front of me, but 57,000. And the system-wide would be 88,000. And I did make the water board aware of those amounts, so they didn't just say, oh, yeah, we want to do it without it. I said, you know, you guys understand that's going to be your cost.
Yeah,
And is this-
and ultimately ours, if they don't come up with it.
Well, it's in our annual budget. It's just part of their division, but it'll be in the overall budget. Because we are user over water and sewer in the budget. They don't have separate, you know, that.
That's good. But is there any work going to be done? I mean, is this a resolution saying that they can go do some work? And
Yeah, this is so we can
and
apply for it, like, we
pay
have to
for it?
get this passed
Uh-huh.
in order to put the applications in
Okay,
with the
okay,
loans.
that's where
That's what I was saying, yes.
Yeah,
I have a
okay.
question on.
That's good, thanks, I
On
appreciate
this
that.
money, is this their share that they have to say, write the check now? Or is this their share that they're going to be paying back over a number of years like we do the other
Yeah, it'll
grants?
be, they don't expect that all at
Yeah,
once. It's
I mean,
like
it's like-
quarterly,
Yeah,
or whichever works best, like if,
It's like
say,
we're kind of approving a loan that we don't know what it is.
We're just
Well-
approving them to
Yeah,
Apply
have
for it.
access to apply for it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good with that.
So I'll rescind my previous motion so we can do it individually. We'll do the resolution first to approve the second-hand project for the water board. Read it 3 times by title only and declare it an emergency.
I second it.
motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer Anderson. Any questions? No question, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the village of Addyston for design of the Second Avenue water main replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency. Second reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the village of Addyston for design of the Second Avenue water main replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency. Third reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the village of Addyston for design of the Second Avenue water main replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency.
Make a motion to adopt as read by the solicitor.
Second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer Anderson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson. This will be number 13.
I'll make a motion to have the solicitor read the system-wide resolution 3 times by title only and declare it an emergency, suspending the rules.
I'll second
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow, Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the Village of Addyston for design of system-wide lead service line replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency. Second reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the Village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the Village of Addyston for design of the system-wide lead service line replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency. Third reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the Village of Addyston, Ohio to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the Village of Addyston for design of the system-wide lead service line replacement project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency.
Make a motion to adopt as read by the solicitor.
I second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer Anderson. Any discussion? No discussion, will vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson. This will be number 14.
All right, that's all I have for now. Bob, did you have anything?
That's it.
All right, thank you, Bob. Go ahead and go to committees. Dan?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. First off, we were able to get the grant application out to the Nature Works. Now it'll be a matter of this fall before we get an answer. And if in fact we are lucky enough, it's going to be tough because we're competing against everybody in the county for $90,000.
Oh, boy.
And it doesn't mean that everybody in the county goes for this particular grant, but there will be several communities, I'm sure. Lincoln Heights got it last year, and I'm not sure in looking at their thing that they were nearly as thorough as we have been in giving them information. Margret will have a copy in her office, and Mear will have a copy if anybody wants to go through the application just to take a look at it. So it's a matter of now waiting to see if we're good on that particular one. A couple of things in the village. I was approached by one of the citizens off of 2nd Street that the third alley has been overgrown. I know you guys have been tied up with a lot of different things. But coming down the third alley, we normally kept the steps and things cut back, and see if possibly you might be able to work that into your agenda at some point in time, just to kind of clean that alley up a little bit. A couple of times I've sort of, I may have asked about unneeded yellow curbs in areas that we would like to get painted out, because there were at 275 Main Street, there was a handicap sign that's been gone for years. And it'll just take a minute. I don't mind doing it. I just with some paint and brush them out. But and also on the second hand at the top of the steps, Margret, the drive that Billy built there, there's a yellow line from the house across the street where Mr. Thomas used to drive in and out of his garage. That's the only way he'd get in and out back in the day, of course. The neighbors and the people who live in that area have agreed that they don't mind having that painted out as well. You know, the garage is where the house is in bad shape. If you can, you know, do that, like I said, it'll take but a minute. I'll get with Ed about Kathy Bias's complaint that's been going on for over a month in front of her house. There's just junk there, but you know, I don't expect you to run down there. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
And let Mrs. Bias know that we're actively working on it again. I think Dick sent a letter So back to getting a few more objects done in the park. I think we talked about the swing, and I'm pretty sure council said go ahead and do that. We could take that out of the money that we have. 2 swings, I'll get those done this week. The mayor and all of us agree that blue is good. Both blue, or do we want to mix it up? It's up to council.
I would say both blue.
Both blue, good, that's good. Yeah, and we have our old folks group, it's summer and they're anxious to get out and do something, so we want to make sure that if there's anything that council and Dustin might have in mind that we can do over there to help out. I do know that the creek bank is starting to grow up again, where you can't really see the creek. We could spend some time working on that if council is not adverse to that. Also, we're more than willing to backfill the holes. And I know you have some extra people, you might be able to do it. I don't know if you do it or not, but we're happy to, the areas where the blacktop is just kind of sloped off at the edge of the roads. Some of those little islands and things need to be backfilled. We're more than happy to work with you to do that. And
Where are you talking about, at the park?
yes, yes.
I was telling Lisa the other day, I'm gonna bring my Bobcat down here and try to help out a little bit.
Oh, great.
So that'll fill your hole.
Yeah, let us know. We're more than happy to get in, to be involved, to keep things moving. It's take nothing away from the maintenance department and the mayor. It's been a very busy summer for them.
Yes, it
just
has.
trying to keep up, but
Yeah,
so we're more than happy to jump in and do whatever we can. As Dustin said, we're going to be, the grass is not going to grow as fast. We've seen the forecast for the next several weeks is just going to be unbearably hot. So maybe with that, if we can kind of get the, and Margret, maybe you can help me. If anybody's heard anything from the young man who is looking to do his Eagle Scout work.
I
did
have not
call.
heard anything from the family.
I have.
They're
You
out-
have? Okay.
They're out of town. The parents, I think, may be out of town this week, but I don't know about Nick himself.
Yeah, so I went ahead and called to get an update to see, because I
Yeah.
called Craig and said, okay, because our bridge project, obviously, I'd like to have already started it too. He said that they're still in the process of reviewing his plans.
Yeah.
He's still trying to gather up like resources and funding and things like that, so.
Good. That's good.
And I will call him again later this week just to see if that process, he said, well, I'll call you. I hate to keep bothering him.
Right, absolutely.
He's
Yeah.
like, well, we'll let
Yeah.
you know. So I said,
Yeah,
okay.
I guess that's the only way we'll know if the
I'll
project
just
is
call him
okay.
again and
Yeah,
find
thanks, I
out.
appreciate that, Mayor. I think that's all I have for right now. Mayor, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Dan. Ronnie?
I will send an email out to my committee members for laws and contracts and schedule a meeting so we can discuss, have a meeting. I will notify the clerk so she can get that posted for us. And the other item that I have is I did gain information that the solicitor had a death in his family, and I just want to pass my condolences on to him. And if we're able to gain information on services, I would like to send flowers on behalf of the village. I also know that his daughter is going through a little bit of a rough time right now, so just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And if the solicitor is not as receptive or eager to respond to our items as he normally is, he does have some family things going on, so I just want everybody to know that. That's all I have here.
Thanks, Ronnie. Jennifer?
I don't have anything as broken out.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Ms. Ann?
Okay, thank you. The police committee met on the 13th. And I've given you a copy of the minutes as well as a copy of the mission statement for the police committee. And if you want to read that, then you'll see that the mission statement came from looking up in the what the state describes as a police committee and what the responsibilities is. So that's sort of in our statement. And it's been approved by all 3 members of the committee. So if anybody has any questions, we just want it to be in the record.
I'll make a motion to adopt the mission statement as accepted by the committee as written.
I'll second.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Dan Pillow. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Mayor, I'd just like to say concerning what the police department has, police committee has done, that is a great help. I think we have a mission statement for one of the other groups. I think it's very important that we understand what our jobs are as commission people, not just showing up and starting to talk about things. To know what each of us is about, I think it's a great job, and I appreciate the police committee's work on that.
So then we had a committee meeting also, and the chief wanted to talk to us about promotions within his department. So we talked about that. He would like to establish a command staff, which would be chief, lieutenant, and sergeant, as it was when we had Chief Dorian LaCourse. He needs to have someone to be a supervisor or be in charge when he's not available. So talked about if it was in his budget or not, if he had that money in his budget or not. He thinks he does. And his thoughts was that the sergeant would make $2 more per hour than does the full-time person we have.
It's $1, wasn't it?
And the supervisor $2 more than that. So the committee agreed that he needs to have someone to back him up. He needs to have someone, but we could not say yay or nay because we don't control the money. So we recommended that it be presented to the finance committee and go from there. But our recommendation is that he have at least one person to back him up.
$2 more on the hour?
It was $1, the discussion.
I thought it was $2.
No, he said $1.
$1 more for the sergeant, $2 more.
Okay, and I made a mistake.
I'll make a motion to go with the committee's recommendation, take it to the finance committee meeting and bring it back to the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Dan Pillow. Any
And
discussion?
let me add to that, in the interim, if you need somebody to cover for you while you're gone, just let us know and we can probably do it temporarily.
Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron
I'm
Pugh.
sorry, Scott.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay?
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Was that $1 on each, or was it $1 and $2?
It was $1 for sergeant, $2 for lieutenant.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ann.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just backed up a minute. Al just told me that the equipment that we're waiting for to install the exercise stuff over at the park,
The in bids.
okay, that piece that we're waiting on should be here by the end of this week, sometime this week, so that we can start to plan on getting that stuff installed as well.
Ms. Ann, I do have one question while we're still talking on police committee items. Can I get an update on this Equinox that's sitting over here in the lot?
So today was the last piece of our, the project I had with our forfeiture money. That should have been forfeited today. We have about $8,000 outstanding, should have been awarded to us today.
Okay.
That's the very next thing we're working on. So it's top of the list, that'll be next.
Did we have anything? That's it. No. Thanks, Miss Ann. Al?
Only thing I want to know, where you guys at with the lawnmowers? What's going on with that?
It's,
Oh, I thought that's something the streets was gonna bring back up.
What was that? I'm sorry.
The
The
lawnmower.
lawnmowers, I know we've been.
Oh, okay, yeah, thanks. Thanks. I sent information, I meant to send it to council, I guess it's kind of slipped through the cracks. I don't have all those 3 bids, but I sent to the committee a train of conversations that Dustin and I had, and the committee had recommended during our regular meeting, thank you so much for reminding me, that we move ahead with whichever mower. I mean, he's closer to it than we are. Dustin selected that we were recommending that we move ahead with that 15,000, in the range of 15,000, both of them. Since that time, Dustin and I have emailed each other back and forth. He did some more research indicating that, and speaking with people in the know, that for our village, that a diesel would actually be longer lasting and actually more economical. Then, although it may cost a little bit more on the front end, maybe $88 more than the other things that we got, that he thought that would be beneficial to the village, and I, of course, agreed with him, because my first question was, with the price of diesel, how can it be more economic? Well, because it'll go a lot further on a gallon of diesel than it'll go on a gallon of gas, and wear better,
So the price is still in the $15,000 range?
Yes, yes, it is. So with that, I would make the recommendation that we approve his selection of a diesel, 72-inch more, I believe it is. Yes.
Second the motion.
How is this being financed? Is it being financed?
Yeah, that's a good question, but.
I mean, I think when we talked about it before, we were gonna finance it. I would prefer to finance it and also do a maintenance plan on the mower, finance that as well.
Through Zimmer or Kubota?
Whoever we, yeah.
would be
Whoever does
beneficial.
the maintenance program on.
That
Oh,
would be-
absolutely.
We've done that in the past with.
That's my preference. I think, and I'll add that to the motion, that we finance it instead of buying it outright and add a maintenance program to it.
Yeah, the maintenance program is really big, because it changes all your filters, your oil.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah,
That's
blah,
fine.
and then you gotta
It
worry
just
about
won't put us in
the
this spot again.
Right.
So
Or
are
hopefully
you
for a
going to
while.
get the information to me
And
on who it is we're going with or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's Zimmer, the one I forwarded to you.
Because you have all 3 bids,
You
right?
said 3 different bids, so I want to make sure I got the right one.
it's a
Yeah, it's the most recent one I just sent you.
Okay. well,
in the discussion phase.
The most recent.
Yeah.
So we have a motion by Ronnie, second by Dan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
in the discussion phase, Mayor,
All right.
I just want to make sure that Dustin can add anything he needs to add to this discussion.
Yeah, you covered it. I mean, it's gonna be, the longevity of it, maintain it.
Thank
And
you.
not only that, are we gonna fix the John Deere? Because
That's-
I believe we need to fix that so we don't get in this problem again next year, the year after.
I mean, what was the committee?
I thought the
Let's
other one.
finish with this
What
one
was the
first, and
committee
then we'll go to
recommendation
that one.
first?
I don't think we made a recommendation on fixing that. I think the discussion was that, hey, let's deal with the 2 that we have now.
Did we get the SCAG
before
back?
Yeah, we've got it back. That was part of, the SCAG is back. And that,
Yeah, we
then
got
we
lucky.
think in terms of whether we need to put money into the,
What's the cost?
I have no
We're
idea.
fixing the John Deere?
We haven't sent it out.
I think we should probably just,
Are we gonna finish
Check it.
with this motion real quick?
well,
and
we're
then-
still in the discussion phase, but
Yeah.
let's check on that and see what the cost is gonna be, then just bring that back. Can you do that for us?
Bud Harbour today, they do like anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. Put a
Well,
new motor
we'll
on it.
decide on it once we
Get
get
it and get it back.
get a quote.
That's what they said today.
Yep.
Ready? Dan Pillow,
yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yeah,
Jennifer Anderson,
Yeah.
Ann Pillow,
Yay?
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still on outright. You were asking about the John Deere. I know you had mentioned something about that. And somebody said they talked to you about fixing it.
Yes. I talked to Mr. Young about getting a mower to put it on it, and the way he's talking, like, probably $600, $700 to get a motor, put the motor on it. He'd do the work for nothing, which is really nice of him from being from the community. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I'd like to see that being fixed, at least we're not in a situation where we gotta pay $500 a week for a mower.
I think we should just get a quote from Bud Herbert, like we made the motion, and I think
We
if
probably,
we can
I
probably
would
go
think we
and
need
have
to
already
get a
fixed it, I mean,
quote
that's
from
fine.
somewhere.
But we
I
do
mean, I
need a
appreciate his
recommendation
gesture,
from them.
but, you know,
See
we
what I'm
have
saying?
to.
And if Arnold wants to
How
do it, and we can do that, but I mean, we still need a
Pay-
quote to go by, is my thing.
like a resident, something like that.
See what I'm saying?
We probably can't use them,
Exactly.
and everything
Because
else.
We have to have-
I think we would get to a situation where
It would
the
definitely
village,
flag.
We're still gonna
Yeah.
do something, we're not gonna do it for free, we're not gonna have him do it for free.
that's,
So I just think we should
That's
get a
the only
quote
issue.
from Bud Herbert.
It was pretty
and go
nice
from
from
there.
Dustin, I mean, that's,
Yeah, a real,
but,
yeah.
like I said, I called Bud Herbert today too, and Bud said anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, get a new motor, put a new motor on it.
It's my recommendation. In the last motion, we said that we were gonna send it out and have a real quote done. I think we should do that and then decide if we are able to have Mr. Young fix it. I'm okay with that, but I would never be willing to have him do it for free. I would wanna set up something where he would be paid for his time and labor for that. But in order to do that, we're gonna need a quote.
I mean, he can ask Zimmer when he's down there. say
I mean, I
no.
just wanted that brought out because, like, I keep
Right.
telling him, because he keeps, like, I work out on maintenance, so he keeps saying, I'll fix out. I said, I can't let you
Yeah, I
touch this
understand.
equipment unless I talk to council first.
I mean, that's my
I mean,
recommendation.
you know.
We need a real quote before we can move forward. I appreciate the generosity,
Oh, yeah,
but
my God.
it would,
have to
there's a liability issue that's gonna be underlying there, and I just don't wanna do it.
Well, the other one was from the other lawnmower, right?
Yeah,
Not the
it's
John
done.
Deere. Okay.
So just by mutual consent, you're gonna ask for a quote? or-
Well, that was in the last motion. We were gonna send it to Bud Herbert, get a quote.
Either that or Zimmer, they'll be down there at Zimmer.
I mean, you can get 3 quotes if you want, or get one from Zimmer, one from Bud Herbert, it doesn't matter to me.
It just helps.
But I think we need one when we look at it and decide if somebody else is gonna fix it,
or if
so we know what we're
or if
doing.
it's worth it.
Right,
Yeah,
I agree. I second it.
No, it's already in that motion.
that's done. This is what he's
That's all
saying.
I got there.
All right, thanks, Al. Pam?
Covered. I just need, well, I'll contact about setting up the finance committee meeting to discuss the issues that the chief has, or recommendations that he has on issues. The other, where are we on this audit? The audit stuff?
Which audit stuff?
The previous audit that we were supposed to get someone in here to do this and that, and we haven't.
Yeah.
Well,
Here
they've
we are.
already contacted me, they're ready to come in for the 2021, but I'm gonna ask her to put off until August 1st, because I've got some issues I've got to clear up with my health and this accident that I had.
Okay, and then, because some of it was to do with the water board.
So do we wanna bring the auditors in for the next audit before we get the other one straightened
auditors
out?
actually should be sending you out an email tomorrow.
Okay.
They want to have a Teams meeting with everyone as
That's
an
fine.
entry. So that's something we can go ahead and start with.
Okay.
Let's start there,
So
that's fine.
Betsy is sending you, she was gonna send it out today, but she said, I guess she'll send it out tomorrow. She wants to have like an entrance type.
Tell us what
Meeting.
it's about.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
So you guys
Yeah,
should
we'll
get
start
that
there.
tomorrow from her, if it wasn't today.
Specific date that she's looking for.
Yeah, she's sending out on the date, I forget what the date was, but it'll be August 1st, that's right. August 1st, 10 a.m. if that's okay.
10 a.m.
And that's when she's available, and she'd like to have a Teams meeting, so.
It's working, it's working.
And you'll get the email to be able to join the Teams meeting.
Throw all of these away.
All right. So on that
Got a
note,
good one there for
See
you.
how
I
that
want to
one
know
works.
about the former water board, if something's done with that.
Oh, yeah. The, the results from the findings, I guess, from the water board.
No, it was they held her responsible when that happened 30 years ago. That woman made payments. Do you remember Lou Eggleston? The water board clerk that formerly had Jackie Butcher.
Yeah.
We're talking about the.
What I'm asking is how's that recovery going to be? The previous, Lou Eggleston, when that happened, had to make payments to the village. We haven't heard anything.
Well, the criminal side of it's still going, so if we send our,
Right.
if we send our issue to the judge can order restitution. Correct, Bob? Once they're convicted, we can't do anything with it now
Well, I
because
just
they're not
didn't know
convicted.
because we hadn't heard.
Well, yeah, well, that's, I mean, it's still going through. We gotta wait for the criminal process to go through, and once they get to get conviction and then sentencing, we can send it down and see if they can add it to the restitution.
And that takes a while sometimes
Right.
for them to get
So,
through.
but we've gotta wait. You can't
Yeah.
make an innocent person pay or presumed innocent person pay.
All right, and Al had notified me, or called me and asked me about a fall festival, if the village was interested in doing something like that. I don't know to what extent. He was gonna, just want to know if the village
Get people
was
out in the
interested. I said, well,
village.
that's something we would have to bring to council. I know that the chief has got things with the Kids for Cops coming up. That's still in the summer, August.
Next week.
Next week. Yeah, so that's.
I think we should
coming up
probably
in
send it to
November.
special events for, look at end of September, early October, like we always do.
Yeah, so that's why I was seeing that the council even had an interest in wanting to do that.
I mean, yeah.
Because we really didn't budget anything
It's
for something like that, but he did ask me, so I decided to bring it to council and see how they thought. Talk about maybe bands, just something in the park, not something extravagant, but just to do something.
community out
That sounds like something you can do, gather up some bands, and not have to lock the rooms down.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's your wife. It's Ann Apple. Sorry.
I will
Got out of that one.
for special events, so we'll discuss that. And that's all I have.
All right. Well,
All right, thanks, Pam. Good to Chief.
Evening, council.
evening.
Before I get started,
I have a couple more minutes.
I can wait if you want.
I'd just like to set a couple of meetings, Chief, before we get started. I'd like to, Ed, you're going to be working
Thank you.
Thank you,
on
Mr.
Al's
Ault.
schedule. Thanks, Mr. Ault, appreciate it. You're going to be working on Dick's old schedule Thursdays?
Yes.
Okay. Would it be possible on this Thursday that you meet with the Streets Housing Committee, that,
If we do
during
next
your
Thursday,
hearing?
awesome.
Huh?
If we do next Thursday, it'd be a lot better, actually. I have family in town this Thursday.
Oh, good.
Haven't seen them in 3 years.
Oh, fine. That's good. I just want to kind of get that in there.
The 28th, then?
Set that, huh?
28th,
28th, no, 20,
this week is
Yes.
21st.
yes, or
Okay,
26th,
yes,
28th.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
I
28th,
appreciate that, yeah.
yes.
What time?
That'd be great. Lunchtime, Al?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like it.
Lunchtime, okay. That.
You're the
and-
new guy, so you gotta bring lunch. Sorry.
Thanks. So we'll set it around noon,
There you
right?
go.
And
Yeah.
thank you.
Perfect.
And I'd like to set up Parks and Playgrounds next Tuesday.
That'll be good.
Is that good? Parks and Playground meeting?
Thank you,
What
Ed.
time?
Thank you.
It'll be 6 o'clock here.
Yeah. Okay,
To
thank you.
talk about what's going on at the park.
Yes, we'll
Be
be,
the 26th, Al.
26th. What time did you say again?
6 o'clock.
That is the same day as the cops and kids.
oh, is it
Just so
the
you
same
know.
day?
Yeah.
Let's take
6
that back.
o'clock.
Same
Right.
time too.
Oh, that's
No, we can't.
No, okay,
We're
yeah,
at 6 o'clock.
unfortunately.
The cops and kids, 6 o'clock, yes.
On a
I mean,
Tuesday?
they're
On a
going to be at the
Tuesday? Okay,
VFW.
yeah, okay, we'll scrub that one.
Yeah.
What time is cops and kids again?
6 to 8.
Oh, 6?
Yes, sir.
Oh, same time, yeah, we'll scrub that.
Maybe do it the following week or something.
Yeah, we'll just have to get back.
We'll get back because
With Margaret
maybe
to
we'll
set
do it
up a
on
meeting.
Wednesday, but we'll check.
Just let me know.
You say Wednesday?
I said maybe, I just had to contact the other people,
Okay.
see if they.
Great, thank you very much, Mayor, thank you for your indulgence, and sorry to interrupt you,
No,
Chief.
no, by all means. Before I start with my agenda, I just want to circle back real quick to what Councilmember Pugh brought up, just so I'm clear what the expectations are from my department. And if there was a breakdown of communication on my end, I apologize. When we went through this with my injury, it was my understanding council wanted to know if the department head was going to be off for an extended period of time to be notified for a replacement to work those out. I was not under the impression that I needed to notify council on overtime situations or call-outs. If that's the expectation moving forward, by all means, I can certainly make that happen. From an overtime standpoint, how it has been operating so far is, on our department, there's 3 people that this is our primary job. Myself, Officer Hardy, and Officer Tenbrink. And when I get the schedules and the availability for the month, I go through everything I can to fill all the days without overtime. Occasionally, there's some issues and some holes. And, you know, we have to plug in overtime where there is. I think it's been a very minimal cost so far, the overtime that's been spent. But it is. I mean, there's still holes. We still have a department that's predominantly part-time. And when other people have jobs, it's hard sometimes to fill all these shifts. And right now it's overtime or have nobody work. So when those situations have arose, I've chosen to pay overtime versus having no officer on the streets. And then as far as call-outs, 99% of the time my phone rings, I'm able to handle it by phone and not come in. Occasionally there's situations where I have to be here. So, but those have been, I can probably count on one hand since I've taken over that I've actually had to respond back in. So if there's some kind of notification that needs to be made in real time, I'll do my best to do that, or immediately following.
I think it's something that we can discuss further when we talk in the Finance Committee meeting, because we're going to talk about promotions that might limit some of that as well. So
I just want to make an observation right at this moment. From my experience, I think it's the chief's responsibility to notify the mayor.
Right, and that's what we talked about.
And as long as we're all shooting in that same direction, and then the mayor can make the decision as to what she really feels like needs to be disseminated to council, because that's sort of how it is.
Earlier tonight, that's what we talked about, because ultimately the mayor reports to council, you report to the mayor. So if you talk to her and she authorizes it, then you're good. And that's up to her. And she's got to deal with us at the end of the day. I mean,
and we meet pretty regularly, and she's, I think for the most part, pretty filled in on what's going on. And then when I submit,
I'm on them.
When I submit payroll, I always give an explanation for why, what, who, and when, if I can. So please, I mean, if there's a better process or a way that you guys would like to be more informed, by all means.
I mean, as long as you're notifying your supervisor, then I'm okay with that.
That's the protocols. And can I throw something in while we're talking protocols?
Absolutely.
I love the badge on the wall out there. I think it's magnificent. It looks great. But there still has to be a protocol when we make physical changes to the building.
Sure.
Or any part of the building, that council is in the loop on what's going on there. And I know it's a communication situation, but just to ensure that in the future, I don't come in and these walls are pink. You know, I'm just being hypothetical, but we need to know those types of things. And I think we've got that.
I don't think I grabbed a paint can and just started painting walls, though. I just didn't make that decision to do that.
To do the wall?
No, I mean, I didn't just decide to just do it. I mean, I had communication with people.
With who? Myself.
Yeah, the mayor said it's okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in the future, council will need to know when we're.
But is that a situation where we should have been notified? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So there again, there's communication breakdown, and there has been for a long time, and it's got to stop. It has to stop. That's the reason we're in the situation that we're in now with audits and everything else, because there is no communication. And the only way that, it doesn't matter. The only way that we figure out is through the newspaper on a Wednesday morning, but we want to call a special meeting over a lawnmower. It's got to stop, and it'll stop now.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Chief, I appreciate you answering my question.
Absolutely. As far as the agenda, as part of my promotion to full-time chief, the state requires that I attend a week-long chief's class through OPATA. The class is free because it's required by the state. It is being held not at OPATA, it's being held at a hotel in Polaris, which is just outside Columbus. I've reserved a spot in the class, but I need to reserve a hotel room, so I would like council's approval to begin that process. I've checked with the hotel for rates. It's anywhere between $125 and $150 a night, depending on when I go ahead and book it.
Have you looked at coverage for that?
I have not. I just wanted to make sure this was okay first, and I'll work on that next.
One night.
It's at the end of October, so it's
One
not.
night, Chuck.
No, it's a whole week.
Oh, a week, okay.
Five nights?
4 nights.
4 nights.
I'm
But it is in October.
It's mandatory,
It's gotta
correct?
be there, I mean.
I'll make the motion to approve the chief to go out of town, cover his hotel stay and his mileage to and from Polaris, Ohio, for training required by the state of Ohio.
And that's in October, right?
October 31st, I'll go up that Monday morning, so you guys don't have to put me up Sunday night, and then check out Friday after the class.
We should also add to that, we're gonna have to cover his, what we just
I
talked
asked
about, his position.
I asked him about it.
Yeah,
Alright.
that'll mean another shift, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, he said he just hasn't looked at the coverage
Yeah.
I
for
don't think
that
I'll
yet.
do day shift during the week. I'm always here.
I'll modify the motion to say if need be, that we will cover overtime for 4 days
Yeah,
that
could
particular week.
happen.
Just so it's there.
Yeah.
I second it.
Motion by Ronnie Pugh, second by Jennifer Anderson. Any discussion?
Yes. Will there be per diem? The man's gotta eat.
Yeah,
He's on
normally
our
it's-
business.
What is do we have a per diem rate,
I
Margaret?
mean, he's,
I would have to look because
I mean, the state is, it's $68 a day is the state rate.
I do know that are you taking the police car, I assume?
That's
So
what
if
my
he's
plan
doing
was.
that, then there wouldn't be
No
any
mileage.
reimbursement for.
I would say we'll give him a per diem of $75. That should cover breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I was gonna say on the
With-
hotel room, if he would get me the information, I can make that and certify it with, the tax exempt and everything like that, and then they
Just
could
save us
bill
some
us.
taxes, yeah. But I'll modify the motion as well and give him a $75 per diem for the 4 days.
So typically in the
$300.
past, with those APATA classes, they would provide some of the meal. Since COVID, they have stopped all of that, and they've stopped lodging at the state academy. So that's why,
I mean,
It's mandatory,
it's
so we don't have to-
$300, $75 per day for 4 days. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we have to cover. I mean, it's not like you're choosing the
I'll try to
choice.
eat like,
Get you some crackers, man, come on.
Yeah,
$75, you're not eating breakfast, you can eat lunch and dinner. Sorry.
get some crackers and peanut butter.
Crackers get you through today.
Well, we
I
gotta
second
vote.
it.
oh yeah.
The modification, I second.
Just
Two
call for the
modifications,
vote,
please.
right?
Dan Pillow,
yeah,
Ron Pugh,
Yeah.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yeah.
I'll pack you a bag.
I like snack packs, so.
they probably.
Late afternoon, early this evening, I forwarded everybody a resignation letter from Officer Weed. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that yet. I got that
I got
late in my
just-
shift Friday and just now following up with that.
He's accepted.
Yeah.
I think it's something we can probably bring back next meeting. It's not like he's gonna work another shift.
He is not.
It was immediate, right, as of, okay.
Well, he sent in this letter, so I mean, you can accept it.
you can
We can
accept
be done
it.
with it.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Officer Weed effective immediately.
Second.
Motion by Ronnie, second by Dan. Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Ron Pugh,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Chief, he wasn't doing a lot of shifts anyway, was he?
He was not. He got a new full-time job. I'm not entirely sure what, somewhat with the railroads, and he's out of town a lot. So it's caused quite a conflict, and I think it's best for everybody.
Hey, Chief, who was working Saturday, Tuesday night, last Tuesday night?
Second shift or overnight?
Second shift.
That would have been Officer Hardy, most likely.
Did you tell him to slow down a little bit?
I sure will.
He was running like more than 50 mile an hour coming down Main Street.
No lights
No
on.
lights on or
Yeah.
nothing, so, them buses do the same thing, right? At 11 o'clock, they're running 50, 60 mile an hour down through there.
I'll make make sure if we're gonna have to exceed the speed limit, that we're using our lights.
Yeah, we happened to be walking, and then he stopped us and said that he had just seen it, so.
It was fine.
And it was other, not just him, but other residents and patrons that seen it as well, so.
Sometimes, and I'm not trying to defend him because I don't know the circumstances, sometimes there are situations where we do have to speed to something and not really want to use our lights and sirens. If it's a fight that's close, you know, sometimes you don't want to alert the people that you're on your way.
He was going to get off work.
Oh, well, that's certainly a problem.
I just think it's, just address it,
Yep.
just see what was going on.
I'll,
And mainly because, you know, not just us seeing it, you know, residents and other patrons seeing it, so it became a, you know,
I'll take care of it.
embarrassment, basically, when you've got people saying stuff as you're walking by as a council member, like, this is, you know, so, I thanks for bringing that back up, I totally forgot it, and we was just
Yep.
talking about it.
I'll certainly take care of it. The promotional process, if you just let me know when the finance meeting is, I'd love to attend and discuss further. I think it's something we really need. I mean, I try to make myself available as much as I can, but there's, just for example, if I want to swim in my backyard, I'm like scared to put my phone down and miss a call. So just somebody else there is a safety net we really need. So just please let me know when that is. Cops and kids, like we discussed, there was just a whole lot of trying to work this out to do it on a Saturday. It didn't work out for the people that are helping put this on. So the best we could do was a Tuesday night. Kids out of school, I think it'll work just fine. So that'll be this Tuesday, the 26th from 6 to 8. We were able to secure donations from a lot of businesses in the community to pay for all the food, beverages, snacks, raffle items, the advertisements. So no cost to the village, no cost to the police department. So if anybody would like to attend, we'd love to have you. I think it's going to be a really good event for the village and the department. And that is it. That's all I got. Anything from me, council?
You should have said something to me, I could have.
You do it.
I do own a business in the village.
We got to a point where I had more than enough, so I didn't want to, overdo it. But we are going to do a Christmas event with the VFW, so certainly reach out
I
there.
always do my Christmas event, so
Okay.
I always have a big Christmas event every
Okay.
3 years. I usually give about 300 kids toys.
Do you know when that is going to be?
Not exact date yet,
Okay.
but I'll get with you.
Awesome.
Thanks, chief.
All right. Yes, sir.
Will there be some promotion closer to the date?
For the cops and kids?
Getting the information.
They
Not for
put on
Christmas, right?
the police department Facebook, the village Facebook, the sign out front.
Good.
So
Good.
this is my first one, so there could be 5 kids, there could be 100. I don't know.
You never know.
I know.
I put it on my
And that's at the
Facebook-
VFW, right?
The village, yeah.
I put it on my Facebook page, it goes everywhere. Next thing you know, kids are coming out of the woodwork.
Right.
So, I'll
We
put it
had,
on there as well.
Quite the Facebook post this morning. That's
Yeah, I was kind of cute.
300 shares and 600 likes. So
I see
right.
that, it was kind of cute.
anything else?
How's that breakfast going?
It was great. I can't believe he showed up, but he did right on the dot, 7:30.
I've seen that.
I like the whole interaction from the beginning of it until,
He, I don't think this is how he thought the outcome was going to be, but I think it worked out good.
Yeah,
and
I like
I think
it.
made the department look good. So.
it's definitely a move in the right direction to get the bad
Yeah.
view off, like
They threw a
we
lot of-
threw out there, like, oh, he's out to get, no, I was
Trying
one
to
of
get
my
some
bagels.
breakfast.
I was one of my steak bagel.
All right. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, chief. Did you have anything, Dustin?
All my topics have been covered.
All right, thank you.
See if there's nothing else to bring before council, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
And the mayor and I report, we had a meeting, it's been several weeks ago, with the engineer and about the electric, getting the electric in.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, kind of got by me at the last minute.
They
It's
are
not
working on
finalized,
that.
but we
Electric
talked
for the
about it.
park?
We're working on it,
Okay.
yes, yes, thank you.
There was no more than 3 of you there, you're good.
Ann Pullo,
Yay.
Ron Pugh.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pullo. Al Glick.
Yay.
Ann Jackson.
See everyone in August.